Today I'm going to show you how to create a transport certificate on the directory for a software statement. The software statement that I'll be using was created in the previous video. For those that aren't aware, a transport certificate is used to establish a mutual TLS connection between the client, which is you, and the resource, which is the server that you're trying to access. The server that is being accessed will have the chain of trust from the directory in order to validate that the client is using the certificate signed by the directory in order to validate it is an authorized request. In order to do this, you need to navigate to your organization and then to your software statement. When you scroll down on the software statement, you will have a certificate. Press New Certificate. And for this example, because this software statement has roles, we will be using a BR-CAG. When you press Continue, it will send you to documentation in order for you to help create a BR-CAG. Once you've downloaded this file, you can then have a look and see what's inside the file. You'll notice in here that you have a few files for a BR seal and a BR CAG. For this particular demonstration, we'll be using a BR CAG. Now, you can see a lot of different items in here, which you will need to fill in and are organization and software statement specific. Firstly, the business category. This can either be a government entity, a business entity, a non-commercial entity, or a private organization. For my software statement BR-CAG, we are a private organization. The jurisdiction country name is, of course, Brazil. The serial number, which is the CMPG, can be found on your organization under registration number G. The country name is, of course, Brazil. The organization name can be found inside of your organization in the organization details, organization name. And you have the state or province name, which can be found again in the organization details. And you have the locality name, which can be found in your organization. And then you have the organizational unit name. This is the organization ID from the directory. You can find this in the URL of your browser, or alternatively, you could do an API call to get the same information. And the next step is the UID. And as described here, this is the software statement ID issued by the directory. This can be found again in the URL of your browser or via the API call. The final part we need to fill in is the common name. As described, it could be a fully qualified domain name or a wildcard. For this example, I'm going to be using Vídeo. If you are using a fully qualified domain name, this of course needs to be added to the alt name. Once all of these steps are done, we can then use the brseal.sh script, which, as you can see, creates a new CSR and private key pair with the out files of brcac.csr and brcac.key. It takes the file of brcac.cnf, which you just edited, and adds all the necessary values. What you'll see once it's done is you'll get an output of the CSR that's been created, you'll get a CSR file, and you'll get a brcac private key. The private key is something that you want to protect and to not pass around. Once you've done that, you can go back to the directory and upload your CSR. you navigate to where you created the certificate and click on the brcac.csr. Press continue. And you have now created a brcac transport certificate on the open banking directory. Once this is done, you can then download the PEM file, which will be then used for the DCR request later on.